Hey guys, Ricardo here with ASM Scholarships. Welcome to another video. Today I'll be talking about recruitment timeline, okay? So, before I jump straight into it, I just want to ask you a question, okay? Why is recruitment timeline the most important factor when maximizing your son's or daughter opportunities in the US? Just stop the video, think about it, and come up with an answer, okay? I'm just gonna go straight into it, okay? So when it comes to tennis is the most competitive sport in the US for international students, okay? So out of 100 players playing college tennis as we speak, there's about 70 of them that are internationals, okay? And these international students, they tend to be more expensive for the coaches, okay? So, let me give you an example. Your son could be as good as Rafa Nadal, Roger Federer, okay? Or your daughter could be, Serena Williams or Ashley Barty, okay? But if she starts, or if your son starts this process very late, the best schools in the US, they tend to recruit within 1 to 2 years in advance, okay? So if you start this process very late, the schools you really want to go, there's no more spots on the team, there's no more, obviously, athletic scholarship to get you on the team or get that scholarship that you need, okay? So you're losing out amazing opportunities, okay? So when it comes to the recruitment timeline, let's take an example. Your son wants to come to the US August 2024, okay? So it's a 2024 recruitment class. So he wants to come August. The coaches are allowed to speak to your son right after June 15, 2022. Okay? So a lot of things can happen between June 15, 2022 until August 2024. Okay? And ideally, okay, if you want to come to the US August 2024, you want to sign the NLI, the National Letter of Intent, the scholarship contract, okay? And of 2023, like fall 2023, beginning 2024. So it's totally different reality because the coaches will be giving the NLIs even before your son or daughter finish her high school or high school. Okay, it's a different reality. So when it comes to the US, there's roughly 5,300 universities, a lot of them. Okay, 5,300 universities. Okay, so when it comes to tennis, there's only 1,158 schools, okay, that sponsor tennis as a varsity sport. They'll be giving you scholarships for that, okay? So only 1,158, okay? So a lot of these schools are obviously not of your interest. So if you're looking at, let's say, great tennis programs, amazing schools on the academic side, amazing facilities, good coaches, okay, ideally or maximum, you're looking at 200 universities. Okay, see how we're starting to filter down? Okay, so when it comes to these schools, obviously a lot of them are just very athletically focused. When it comes to the academics, not as good, maybe not the academic standards that you're looking for. When it comes to location, maybe some of them, bad neighborhoods. So if you value safety, obviously you want to be at a good school, at a good area, okay? So that's why, ideally, if you're actually looking at good school, good academic program, facilities, safety, maximum 200 schools, okay? Out of those schools, on average, like I said, out of 100 players playing college tennis as we speak, 70 of them are internationals, okay? So there's obviously big majority, and this I'm just gonna say international. So big majority of international athletes playing college tennis than actually the Americans, okay? When it comes to a roster team, okay? A roster has about 10 athletes per team, and this is the same for both men and women, okay? So 10 players per team. Okay, I'm just gonna draw, don't mind this, okay? Just tennis rackets. So there's about 10 players per team, okay? The tricky part is the coaches, they only have a limited scholarship to be given out or to be managed, okay? So on the men's side, just gonna do men's, then women's. So on the men's side, the coaches only have 4.5 full scholarships to be managed throughout the whole team, okay? And these scholarships, they're not per year, okay? They are throughout the 4 years. So obviously big decision. So if I'm Coach Bob from whatever university, and if I just recruited Ricardo or James on a full scholarship last year, okay, then as a coach I only have 3.5 scholarships to be managed throughout the other 9 players, okay, throughout the 4 years. So obviously big decisions. On the girls side is a bit different, because on Division 1 the coaches have about 8 full scholarships to be managed, and on the Division 2 side then there's 6 full scholarships to be managed, okay? So on the women's side, obviously because of the rule Title IX, there's obviously more financials into the girls side, okay? So if Google the rule Title IX, if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me, okay? So obviously big decisions, limited amount of money, very competitive sport, and when it comes to recruitment, okay, there's about 2 or 3 guys, athletes graduating per year, okay? So on average, coaches are looking for 2 or 3 more new athletes to bring to the tennis program. So let's say 3 athletes graduating, okay? Happy days, okay? Graduation. So coaches have limited budget to bring 3 new recruits on the team, okay? So if you look at the number and obviously looking at the stats, maybe out of these 3 athletes that are graduating, 2 of them are internationals, 1 American, okay? So if we look at the financials here, maybe the coaches have about maximum about 1.5 to 2 full scholarships to be given, or to make a decision to bring 3 new guys or athletes recruits on the team, okay? So big decisions. And who's going to make that decision? Who's going to make that decision to get your son or daughter to the team? The coaches, okay? Those are the big sharks. The coaches are the ones that are going to make this decision. So why is recruitment timeline so important? Because at the end of the day, our job is to get your son and daughter on the coach's radar as soon as possible, because recruitment is like getting married to someone, okay? So before you marry someone, you need to date that person, you need to build that relationship. Same thing happens on the recruitment process, because at the end of the day, the coaches, they need to date your son, they need to date your daughter, they need to get to know them, their goals, their academics, their tennis. Obviously, your son and daughter, they want to know, obviously, the coach's style, the day in the life, the routines, the goals, the environment of the school, so that at the end of the day, the goal is for you to speak to as many schools and coaches as possible, so that you obviously can make that big decision. Same thing on the coaches side, so they want to speak to as many possible recruits as possible, so that at the end of the day, they'll make a much better decision, okay? Let me give you an example. So, if I'm Coach Bob from X University, okay, let's say great school, everyone wants to go there, okay? And I'm just going to give you an example on the men's side. So let's say I've got 2 recruits. I've got James, and James is a 12 UTR, okay? And I've known James for the last 2 years. He's a great kid. In school he's performing quite well, so he's done a great on his high school SAT, okay? And tennis-wise, just an amazing athlete. Okay, great video, UTR, is, let's say, top 200 ITF. I mean, and obviously we've been speaking, we've been building this relationship for the last 2 years. Okay, so I know James, I know his family, and obviously I'm really confident about James. Okay, and then I've got athlete B. Okay, let's say this is Bob. Bob is 12.3 UTR, great tennis player. I mean, as good as James, just slightly better, like tennis-wise. Great kids, academics are okay. If you are a coach, if you were me, okay, which recruit would you bring to the team? Which recruit would you be more comfortable, spending $50,000 on an athletic scholarship? Okay, would it be James, in which obviously amazing athletes, and you've known him for the last 2 years, and you've built that relationship with James and the family? Or athlete B, Bob, okay, just slightly better UTR wise, tennis wise maybe, but you've met Bob 3 weeks ago, okay, and you haven't really met Bob, okay, because at the end of the day, the coaches are not just looking for great tennis players and great students. They're also looking for amazing personalities. So if is your son or your daughter coachable? What are her team skills, leadership? Okay, these things matter a lot, because at the end of the day, if your daughter is rude, if she's cocky, I mean, that's red flags for the coaches. Okay, so they want to obviously make sure that your son's personality matches with my team. So big decisions here. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to ask you one last question. So if you were the coach, which would you bring to the team, James or Bob? Let me know your answer on our next call. Guys, thank you so much.